Om Shanti. So we will start with meditation. Let the mind and body relax. And allow the thoughts to come to a place of quietness. Center the cells in the forehead. And let the thoughts follow the breath. Let the mind relax into a place of quietness. I am a soul at peace, sitting here in the center of the forehead. I, the soul, am full and complete in myself. I let the mind rest. I let the body become calm. I find a still point within myself. An internal place of rest. Quietness and peace. A place where I can regain my strength and confidence. I, the soul, at peace. Om Shanti. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you for that very common experience of meditation. And I hope all of you who have been listening to us have been practicing and developing this art of meditation. Regular practice is the key to developing meditation. And Vijay here have been starting our session every Monday at 6:30 with meditation. So, it's Labor Day. Welcome everyone to the Miami Brahma Kumari Facebook page, and also we are on YouTube. And I am Dev, and this is Vijay. Welcome, Vijay. So, I hope all of you had a very restful day as we end the Labor Day holiday. So, I hope everyone is safe and practicing the safety of staying away from that virus. Remember, the virus is just waiting for you to put your gear down, as you put, your guard down. So be careful. You can never be too safe. And I hope everybody is enjoying the practice of meditation while they are trying to be safe. So today, our topic is humility. And today we are going over some of the great teachings of Daddy Janki, who have been the head of the Brahma Kumaris for many years. She passed away in March this year, but she has left with us many treasures. Today we are going into one of the treasures she has left with us, and it's a book, Wings of the Soul. I don't know if you can catch that up in the camera. Wings of the Soul. And today we're going to talk about humility. And I opened the book and it talks about protection. And she's saying here, there is a great deal of power in humility. Sometimes that power is useful for our own protection. Sometimes it's useful in the protection of others. So how does protection relate to humility? Vijay, could we delve a little bit into that?
In my own experience, when one practices humility, we are protected from a lot of complications, in that we don't get caught up in jealousies, in competing for attention, in competing for the focus of others. We save ourselves from a lot of those type of competitive behavior. So what I do when I have to ask myself, well, why did he speak to him and not to me? Or why are they paying attention to him and not to me? Or why did they ask him and not me? I think I practice my own humility. I talk to myself. I say, let me focus more on myself. Let me do what I can do best. And don't interfere in other people's drama, in other people's life, in other people's path. Let everyone be free to play the part that he wants to play. And I try to know my place and know myself. So in those times when I find myself beginning to worry about why I am being ignored, I
think nobody ignores you.
I spend time on working on myself, on thinking myself and figuring out how I should respond to the situation or what I could do. I find a certain satisfaction in understanding how best I could relate to a situation. And I don't really need to explain it to other people. Sometimes we like to express our opinions and we are ignored, and so we feel that our humility is hurt. Or not our humility, our ego.
So humility and ego now. Yeah. So what's the relationship with humility? Because she's saying here that ego is the enemy of humility.
In the book?
In the book, yes, that's what she's saying, that ego is an enemy of humility. And, ego could be arrogance, ego could be, manifest itself in many ways.
So, it's a tricky thing. Yes, ego is, let us say, the enemy of humility, but on the other hand, we need a certain amount of self-confidence. We need a certain amount of self-identity in order to give my opinion or to complete a job the way I see it, or to do the things my way. I also want to do it my way. So is that ego or humility?
Mm-hmm. So a lot of time we 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 like to have our way, my opinion, my idea, my way of thinking. A lot of time I'm the boss here. Like in a work situation. How many times does your boss say that? Have to emphasize that he's the boss. Is that ego, or is he expressing his role in the job, or is that egoistic way? Or let's put it this way: how does humility help us to function better in our work, daily work situation?
I think humility looks inward. Ego looks outward. So
Okay.
in humility, I work on myself. In ego, I tell the other guy what he should be doing. And in ego, we try to control the situation and control other people. In humility, I try to manage myself and control myself. I think too that in ego, one comes up with a lot of distress because it is not easy to control other people.
It's impossible to control other people.
Yes, it is impossible, and therefore you end up quite distressed. So ego creates pain, sorrow, suffering, distress. You are driven to do things because you have to prove that you know it better, and you know it. Your way is my way or the highway. So that takes a certain amount of force and involvement, and so I think ego, with humility, you look within. So you look for the solutions inside and you change yourself. With ego, you do the opposite thing.
Yeah, and a lot of, let's see, what examples of people, leaders in the world who has humility? You could think of any? Beside Gandhi? Well, one time a guy said, "Hey, this guy looks like Gandhi."
Well, I don't know. I think that, to be a leader in the world today, you cannot be too humble. You have to state what your opinion is, explain what is your agenda, what you are about. You have to have thick skin, as they say, to handle the many insults of people, people telling you that you're foolish and all of that. You are putting yourself out there. You are taking a risk. You're taking a chance. It doesn't exactly square with humility. But there must be a balance between being humble and also doing things your way. In other words, you don't want to control other people, but neither should other people control you.
No, that's a really good point. We are caught up in that a lot of the time, that other people, especially in a relationship, other people want to control you, but you don't want to control other. You should not want to control other people, and you shouldn't want other people to control you, because a lot of time conflicts come because of that. So humility.
Yeah, humility is that balance. I think if we stick to that thing of working with yourself, you will achieve some degree of humility. Of course, many people have ego, or maybe we all have ego, and we are happy with our own ego, so there's really no need to become humble. But I believe that if you take the approach of humility, then we will save ourselves from a lot of the complications and conflict that come with relationship.
So, sometimes people say if you are humble, they say that you are weak, because humility doesn't mean bowing, but humility is a strength. And why do you think that sometimes when you are humble, people think that you are weak?
I mean, if somebody speaks, is it easier to return the talk, in other words, to answer, or is it easier to hold your peace? Which one takes more effort? Holding your peace, being silent, being patient, listening, or responding? Which one takes more effort?
You got to have a lot of power and ability to just hold back.
To hold back.
Hold back.
Control, yes.
I really want to tell this guy something,
Yes.
tell him my mind.
Yes, yes. It's easier to give away a piece of your mind
But I hold my peace.
to hold your peace. So I think, in fact, it is a strength. With humility, you decide what you want to do and then act. With ego, you react. So in a way, with ego, other people control you. Other people can press your button and make you react. But with humility, you decide what action you want to take and then you act. So I think humility takes more effort, and it is the better approach, because hopefully once you have decided what to do and then act, the action will be better all round and will be more beneficial to everyone. Reaction tends generally to put fuel on the fire, because if someone insults you or they imply something and we react, you go into defensive mode, or you also insult to some degree, and so a fight is started. It's almost like throwing fists at each other. That is reaction. But action is you choose and you decide, well, what is best here, and you take a line of action that you have decided. So I think it takes more strength to be humble.
So in Daddy Janki's book, Wings of the Soul, Releasing Your Spiritual Identity, it's available. If you want a copy, you can go online and purchase it. It might be available in Amazon. But she's talking about humility here as a power. Humility, real humility should never be confused with low self-esteem. So this is what she's saying, that don't confuse it with low self-esteem. And she's saying that as you were saying, just as I would never force myself on anyone, neither will anyone ever be able to force themselves on me, their opinion and their character. These are not the words of arrogance.
It's self-respect that she used for that. You understand your own value, and so you choose what you want to get involved in and what you want to stay away from. I think that's real self-respect. That's understanding your value. You're not throwing it in other people's face. So you are humble about it. Sister Wadi was talking to me, and she was saying, for humility, you also, if someone is rich or someone has something, and then you can see their humility. And she was also explaining that sometimes people are humble with the praises they get, so that if someone praises someone for some task accomplished, then the person who is receiving the praise will share it around, will say, yes, thank you so much, but also we include this one and that one who also helped with the project. So people can be humble in the way they receive praise or the way they receive benefits. They can be humble in the accomplishments that they have acquired. But also I always find it quite suspect when somebody say I am humble. What does that mean when somebody say I am very humble?
Well, I don't know what their measurement, it's like somebody saying, I've been patient for so long, but now it's now I've reached my end.
Right.
It's similar. But Daddy Janki is also saying here, always think of yourself as a continual learner. Never think that you have found everything, done everything, know everything. So she's also saying that humility teaches us the art of life by teaching us how to maintain self-respect and to give respect to others. Humility makes life so beautiful. It is through humility that the heart opens to the most beautiful truths. And, so So Daddy Janki is has been given teachings on various subjects, and she actually is an embodiment of it. And this is her experience, and she inspires us to be humble, to see truth in humility, to go inside, not outside. See all the beauty, discover the beautiful me inside. And in discovering yourself, meditation is an important tool. So, as we conclude, Vijay.
Yeah, well, I like that last point you read about Daddy Janki, saying that humility allows us to understand our own self-respect and to be able to give respect to others. And I think that adds a lot of beauty to life. I was raising the question, what is the benefit of humility? But that is one excellent benefit, that it allows me to respect myself and to share that respect with others.
So, as we continue the journey and find journey in joy in our journey, let us incorporate humility in the joy of our journey. Until next week, have a wonderful week, folks. Goodbye.